A couple of dudes just chugging and talking shit. You never know who's about to explode on this week's episode of Human
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Human Landmines 13. Where the fuck is Human Landmines 12, might you be asking? Well, here's Paul to explain. By the way, I think we should still name this one 13.
You want to name it 12.5?
I don't know. Either way.
I think it's okay to have some lost levels.
Yeah, I think it is too. It adds a little mystery.
Steven and I recorded a podcast with his bandmate in Swagger Dagger, and she's a musician and a music teacher. Her name is Crystal, and she's awesome. But I was trying a new setup, and I'm going to take the brunt. I'm going to shoulder all the blame for the kids of Human Landmines and say I fucked up that episode. Because I yanked my headphone jack out, and it stopped recording my audio like right at the beginning of it. So I think...
Yeah.
And my computer doesn't do that, but I was trying so you guys can see me better. I'm a narcissist. And it's really so I could see me better.
Sure.
And I fucked it up, and we tried to fix it, and maybe someday you'll get a salvageable version of the episode, but right now you're just getting me and Steven chugging and talking shit.
Yeah, here's the deal. If Crystal ever becomes famous in the next year and dies within a year after that, people are definitely gonna be trying to piece together all the pieces of old interviews that she did and stuff. Like how people go through the Beatles back catalog.
Why does she have to die? Some of the Beatles are still alive.
She doesn't die.
You morbid bastard.
There's gonna be more footage of her. If she lives for 60 more years, there's gonna be plenty of stuff.
Yeah, or we could get some nerd to fix it in a lab that's gonna take a really long time for the first season DVD release, and that could be on there with the elusive episode 1.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just gonna get an intern. It'll only take 4 hours to fix, but I'm just not gonna do it. That's the real issue here. Paul, I feel like we hadn't talked about porn in the last couple episodes, so maybe we should go that route.
Yeah, I've been feeling weirder watching porn because I haven't had anybody to talk about it with.
What was Pornhub is
oh yeah, this is great, by the way. This is the coolest thing that the most philanthropic thing a porn website has ever done.
I know, it makes me feel good about looking at porn.
Yeah, I feel
I'm helping.
All right, you're not looking at the big wood videos, are you? We gotta tell everybody about what we're talking about. All right,
so this promo is called Pornhub Gives America Wood, and in honor of Arbor Day, which is a pretty hilarious thing for Pornhub to be into.
Yeah.
For every 100 videos viewed in their big dick category, they're gonna plant a tree. They're currently planting or plan to plant 14,018.
And
it's pretty good.
That number went up by 50 since we talked about this 20 minutes ago on the phone.
Which means 5,000 people watched big dick videos in the last 10 minutes.
So either they can't say all videos. They have to do a specific type of video, and big dick wood, it all makes sense that's the category of porn that would be planting the trees. It's kind of funny too.
It's fucking hilarious.
But do you think there's some people I was going to watch MILF porn today, but, I like helping out and doing my part.
I do, actually.
I'll just watch the big dick porn.
I think there's people who go to Pornhub every day that usually stick to, their main couple categories, Asian and MILF. And they heard about this promo and maybe I should branch out. Check something else out.
Yeah. Well, and there's a 50-50 chance that if you're watching porn that has a dick in it, that it's going to be relatively big, because the average that's like where your 50% is like below that average.
Yeah. Dude, I've heard differently, man. I knew this guy. This is not a good source, but just go with this story. I knew this guy who claimed to know a lot of people in the porn industry in Atlanta when I lived there. And he was like, he told me that everybody in porn is just really short, guys and girls, because it makes all their like fake titties and dicks look bigger because it's on like a small. But since they're both short, you can't tell. So, like, you just see the parts looking huge on a person.
Then why doesn't the bed look huge? It looks like
Maybe they, like...
Maybe
they
have
have everything to proportion.
Are you suggesting that a porn set looks like a section of the Willy Wonka factory where everything's, like, tinier than it's supposed to be?
I think everything's a foot shorter. I think that's possible.
Like the shallow end of the pool is only 2 feet instead of 3 feet.
Yeah.
And the pool's way smaller than you think it is in real life when they're outside, like at the pool. Yeah, okay, that's hysterical. I know that everybody's seen a porn that happened at a pool if they watch porn.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
It's like one of the common porn locales that they shoot at is like the pool. It's all like Silicon Valley. Yeah, Silicon Valley. Every house has like a sick backyard and a pool.
Right.
And those guys are just filming the porn at their houses. What are some
They're all in LA, just filming whatever they have around, which is either bedroom or pool.
So then let's talk about bedroom or pool or like kitchen.
Yeah, there's a lot of office ones too, which requires them to like put a desk in a room.
Yeah. But I have a desk in my room.
You're right. You're fully equipped to shoot porn.
I'm only one sex on videotape away from being a porn studio.
That's awesome. Have you ever filmed sex, Paul?
No. I don't want that shit to come haunt me in like 20 years.
All right. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't care about it, but like, if for some reason I don't want that shit to like my enemy to try to like blackmail me with the Paul sex tape. If I put out a sex tape, I'm gonna tell everybody like 6 months beforehand, like, yo, y'all want to put in some dope investments into my sex tape? I'm gonna get all kinds of special effects. If you do, I'm gonna definitely premeditate my sex tape.
Right.
And in
it won't be like a leaked drunken event.
And in saying that now, I am completely convinced that everyone from here on out that I have sex with is taping me all the time, trying to blackmail me in the future.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that shit.
I got a Minority Report my sex tape blackmail before it happens.
Dude, I just looked up how much is Pornhub worth. And I'm shocked. Do you want to take a guess?
More than Facebook.
No, it can't be more than Facebook.
You're shocked?
I'm shocked. So tell me
what
what
are they
you
worth?
think
Like
worth.
$200,000.
No, see, $912 million.
Whoa, yeah.
But see, how do I know this website's right? The internet's stupid. They supposedly get 34 million visitors a day.
That's like probably better than McDonald's.
That's why it had to be only big dick porn for planting trees.
Yeah,
otherwise there's not enough forestable land for them to put all the trees.
They'd be repopulating the fucking rainforest.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Oh Christ! Speaking of the rainforest, have we talked about ayahuasca on the show before?
Ayahuasca. No.
Do you know what that is?
No. It sounds like it's something really weird and probably a drug.
Yeah. It's the thing. Like it's getting more popular in the U.S., but it comes from the Amazon rainforest. Like the indigenous peoples there have done this thing called ayahuasca for like 3,000 years, and it's basically like shrooms, but it's DMT. But if you like smoke DMT, which is what people do in the U.S. when they say DMT, it lasts like 15 minutes. But if you drink ayahuasca, it lasts for like 6 hours. So that's what's going on in the rainforest right now. And that's why we need to keep it alive with porn.
Yeah, we need porn to save the rainforest so all the kids who go to dubstep shows can drink ayahuasca instead of smoking DMT.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, well, you know, it's
Paul,
more-
would you ever go on a vision quest?
I'm sure I have been before.
I mean, like a multi-day trip your balls off trip.
I don't know. Multi-day, probably. No, I'd get like too scared that like my real life was falling apart, even if I like took vacation days and like
Right.
boarded the dog.
Yeah, you're right. You gotta have.
But
and
I
you
kind
don't
of feel
wanna-
like I'm on like a vision quest every day, Steven.
That's a beautiful thought.
Like today, I walked to the back of this softball field in the dark when we were waiting to get our car jumped, and we were the last car in the dodgeball parking lot. And I was peeing next to this dugout, and there was this hat sitting on the top fence of the dugout. It was a Green Bay hat, and I was like, somebody probably forgot that there. Why am I so
beautiful.
sad that they left their hat?
That is beautiful.
But
It's
then
a lovely moment.
I said maybe I should take it and give it a new life with one of my Green Bay fan friends. But then I
Did
said
you?
that hat's probably dirty and somebody loves it very much and they know where they left it and they'll come back for it later.
That was really optimistic. I feel like both your views, like to take it and give it new life, and then that decision not to. They were both. It was yin and yang, Paul. You did go on a vision quest today.
It was just like I was walking around peeing in a baseball field.
That's awesome. Paul, you told me that you helped seal a dodgeball second place victory tonight.
It
It's a
was
big
the
deal.
losers bracket championship. We were third place in the league for the year. And it was 5 games to 5 games, and we had one. It was like we had a one tiebreaker. And the guy was like kicking us off the courts at the time because they like need to pack up, and we're all getting drunk, playing dodgeball, throwing beer cans all over the place.
Yeah.
Screaming like motherfucker in the back of the Jewish Community Center tennis courts. Getting drunk. And this guy, it was like 2 of them and 5 of us, and they got 2 of our guys out, and it was me and 2 other dudes. And this guy, I was like talking shit to him.
Yeah.
And he like came at me with like 2 balls, and he threw the first one. And it's so easy when a really strong-armed thrower in dodgeball is gunning for you and staring you down. Like, it's easier to catch a ball thrown hard than, like, a little dinker blooping around everywhere. So I just caught it, and then I spiked it into the ground and screamed, boom.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's pretty fun. I mean, I always say I don't want to... I always say I don't want to play dodgeball at the end of dodgeball season because it's, like, a pain in the ass to, like, get there and like sometimes you get like really angry, but I think I'll probably
I think it sounds fun as shit.
Yeah, there's just like some teams that treat it like, you know, there's scouts in the crowd and they got to make sure like they win state.
That's kind of awesome that you guys just get hammered and had a great time and
Most of the teams are like that. We're 25 to 45-year-old people getting drunk playing dodgeball once a week. We're not going to become pro athletes. We should have fun with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a few people out there, though, who just, like, you know, shoved a bad raspberry up their butt before they went out to the game.
Yeah, man. A lot of people have to, like, show their ego in very stupid games. Like, everyone has seen... like a guy who takes beer pong too seriously, or like, you know, any kind of dumb drinking games, you'll run into these guys who are like fucking doing it, like for real, and not in like a joking way.
No,
like,
and not in like a getting more drunk and getting more into it. They're like
they're studying.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what Jay talked about. How he said that, you know, being in the Army, like so many of your formalities as a human like don't matter, so you quickly see who everybody is. Competition like gives people that it doesn't matter if you're nice if you're not a good player, or like or if you're better than them, they see you as an opposing threat and try to perform up to you, it doesn't matter who's nice. I mean, in the end,
Yeah.
it does, especially if it's like such a carefree game like we're playing every Wednesday. But like, a lot of people see that as like that really strips away a lot of formalities, and you are how you perform on the field.
I mean, it does. I guess competition can
It's like
display real aspects of your personality, though. You do like learn something else about everybody. Even like if you know a guy from work and then you like play a game with them, you do learn something real.
Yeah, you play basketball.
Else. Yeah.
So
I do.
So you see what type of players everybody is.
Right, yeah, and you learn a little bit about their personality. If you like know them from elsewhere and then you play with them, like it's not only about how good they are. You know, there's like another level. It's just like how they approach it.
Yeah.
Like guy who takes it too seriously is one thing, or like person who has a fuck ton of fun with it. Like there's a lot of personalities.
And then there's the people who want to perform well but are out there to have fun. So like if they fuck up, they'll get mad, but it's not even like at anybody but themselves, which is the proper way to approach it mentally, I think. Anyway, like if you're in a band or if you play sports or if you're in war and you get your arm chopped off, like you just kind of can only be mad at yourself that you didn't fucking kill that guy first or whatever.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. I just finished a book tonight while I was at work called The Art of Learning, and it's about this dude who was like a chess prodigy when he was 6 years old, but the whole book he's basically explaining why he wasn't a prodigy and just that he's good at like learning things, because since he played chess he's also been like a martial arts champion, and now he like advises financial bankers. He's just good at shit because he's good at learning. But one of the main things he talks about is how if you're true to your personality when you go into something like that, no matter what it is. I mean, not that you take dodgeball that seriously, but like if you're not the kind of guy who's serious all the time, but if you tried to play dodgeball like a fucking hard ass and got yourself worked off, you'd be really shitty. So I guess his theory would be that if you get drunk because you're Paul and like you like having a good time and having fun with everybody, that's actually the way that you're the best at that sport, because you just like are yourself and it's natural and you're not like working against yourself.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. He talks about chess champions. Like one of them was like super, almost like Zen Buddhist in his approach, and another one was like obscenely aggressive, and both were great. Like it's about like not creating internal struggle.
This is kind of a long. I don't know. It's about Jeopardy. Did you hear about that most recent champion that like pissed everybody off with his style of play?
I did. It sounded badass. I don't know exactly what he did.
Okay,
do you know?
Let me look it up real quick.
Okay. I know that he was going, like, I know the traditional way to play Jeopardy is, like, work your way down a column, and he wasn't doing that, but I don't know anything else.
He like, recognized that, where's a new window? How do I,
he knew where the daily doubles were or something? He knew how to hunt them down?
Yeah, like, the daily doubles are traditionally in the bottom half of the board, and he, can you look this up?
Yeah.
I don't use the iGoogles that much. I don't know how to
figure it out.
Yeah. But so he was daily double hunting because statistically the daily doubles are in the bottom half of the board. So basically he's picking the most expensive questions of each category first.
I like that, yeah.
But every time he hits a daily double, he bids the maximum amount. Unless he's fucking around and bids 0 or something. Like he's like done weird stuff like that. But the other thing he does is, no matter if he knows the answer or not right away, he'll buzz in and give himself 5 seconds to think about the most educated answer if he has no clue. He'll just instantly buzz and not give anybody else a chance to respond.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's just like quick buzzing, daily double hunting, and like the only time he didn't win in his like reign, and somebody might have beat him by now, but he like bid the awkward amount on the final Jeopardy that if she won and he lost, they'd have the exact same amount of money.
Yeah.
And so since they tied, she plays against him the next day and he annihilated her.
Oh shit.
So like he ensured that he would be playing a weaker competitor plus someone
That's
new
awesome.
that Are you finding?
Yeah, man. Anytime somebody gets locked into like tradition or like, you can always exploit it. Like, if anybody's doing something and they're not sure why they're doing it, like, which is what a lot of Jeopardy people do, they just want to get the questions right, but they weren't thinking about picking the right category and bidding the right amount that much. You can always like find a weakness there and use it. That's so badass.
So like by the end of, or by the middle of the rounds, most of the time, the two other people would barely have any money compared to what he had because of his success to wrong answer rate. And they'd only have like the 100s and 200 point questions to catch up on him. Right.
That's awesome. Man, an example of that, another that's happening right now, and this one's dedicated to the Zacks out there. This is a very, very sports nerd comment I'm going to make. So in the NBA, there's this trend that you can't win a championship unless you have a star player. If you have 2 star players, that's even more awesome. So everybody like has adopted this approach where like they try to bottom out, a tank, and try to lose games so they get like a top draft pick, and then maybe they can get a superstar. And nobody wants to like sign guys who are looking for like a medium amount of money, who are medium players. Like, so the whole league started going this way. And this year, one guy zagged when everybody zigged or whatever. Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks, he was like, well, everybody's doing that, and I'm not going to get a superstar because we weren't shitty enough last year. So I'm going to sign all these average guys that nobody wants and just like hope it works out well. And it did. They're doing awesome in the playoffs right now. Like, whenever somebody adopts the same philosophy, you can always go the other way and get somewhere.
Yeah, completely.
It's awesome.
Well, it makes sense though, and there is also this thing in sports too where somebody gets such a high salary because they're performing at such a high level, and then after they reach their prime, they're still going to get a shitload of money for a while to play each year. Until somebody's sure that they're not a superstar and they're like declining, because you can have a bad year here and there, or even a bad 2, and come back and start crushing it again.
Yeah.
So really, they're taking up large amounts of payroll.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a big one in baseball. People sign old guys for too long, or like sign them to too long of a contract. So like at the end of it, they're going to be like 41 years old, and you still got to pay them all this money, and it's like, it's terrible.
Yeah, well, it's not terrible that people get older and that they can't like maintain that skill as an athlete, because it's very trying on your body. But it's terrible that like somebody can offer you an amount of money and then like, while you're under contract, them start getting mad about it.
Well, they made a bad business decision, I guess.
See, that's what doesn't happen a lot anymore. A lot of like record labels, they'll sign somebody for a 5-record deal, but if record 1 sells really well and record 2 sells really badly, they don't get 3 more records.
Dude, yeah, the music industry seems to have gotten rid of all that kind of motherfucking risk now. Like, they used to sign people to like multiple record deals, and I think that's not even done anymore.
No, like if you had a bad album, your A&R guy would come to you and be like, yo man, that album didn't go so hot, so let's look at the songs you got for the 3rd album, and let's look at what people liked about your 1st album compared to your 2nd album, and then we'll see which songs kind of fit in, and we'll see if we can make this album sell better, even though you're still doing your art. Like nowadays, they're like, you got 25 songs, 6 of these are good, the rest of them are shit. Write 4 more songs, and we'll make a record. And if it doesn't sell, we are banishing you to the nether realm.
Yeah, man. And because they've done that, it also sort of has made like record labels meaningless, I almost feel like. I mean, not entirely.
And there's some good record labels still, like that like take good care of their bands, but for the most part, most of them exploit the bands.
Yeah.
They try to make as much money and give the bands as little money as possible. And then, like, if they don't do well one day, they cut the cord and watch the baby fall into the cauldron.
Which I think, unfortunately, a lot of other industries wish they could do that. Like, those sports teams wish they could just renege on their contracts. Like, when the player has a bad couple years and be like, oh, never mind, not giving you the rest of these 3 years.
Yeah, but, that's $75 million, dude.
Yep.
Well, maybe that's the problem with, like, I don't really see a lot of problems with a capitalist society, but maybe that's a byproduct of existing in capitalism for too long. It's like people say they're going to pay you something, and then they start getting mad.
And looking for ways to not do it.
Yeah, they're like, all right, man, if you mow my lawn for the next 5 years, I'll give you $5,000. And then like 3 years into it, they're like, but that kid down the street says he only wants $500 a year to mow my lawn.
Yeah.
Fuck, how do I get rid of this guy who I'm paying twice as much, even though we made a deal?
Yeah, that's a douchebag, though. Realistically, that guy's an idiot for signing a contract.
When you simplify it like that, I mean...
Yeah.
That's just like a micro scale of what we're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like there's something about... I mean, contracts are just like a legal way to do like the old-fashioned like handshake agreement that I feel like has been around forever. And I feel like there's it's a certain like masculine thing to hold up your end of the bargain. So I think if people are trying to get out of deals, we should just call them pussies.
A Lannister always pays his debts.
Oh shit. Game of Thrones.
No, but yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you're trying to get out of something you agreed to, you're being a bitch.
Yeah, well, and if you can't just tell somebody honestly either. Like, I'm sure there's some players who, like, okay, this is a prime example of a real life thing.
Okay.
My landlord kept calling us and asking us where the rent check was one month.
Okay.
And so I'm hunting down my two roommates and I'm like, yo, I paid rent. Did you guys pay rent? And they're like, yeah, we paid rent. It was like a day or two late, but this is like way longer than a day or two late. So he's like asking us where it went. And we're like, well, we sent it in the mail. So I asked Brent, I'm like, did we send it? Did anything weird happen this month? He's like, well, we got the notice in the mail that we had a different property management company now and to send it to their office. And I'm like, yeah, we sent it to the new address. And he's like, what new address? And I told him the address, and he knew exactly what property management company it was and what, like, where their office was. And he's like, fuck. I'll call you back if anything's wrong. Like, about the rent check. But, like, I think I accidentally let him know he got fired.
Oh, shit.
But, like, I'm sure there have been some players, like, talking to somebody, you know, running to somebody on a layover at an airport, like another player.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, man, sucks you're getting let go. Like, who you thinking about signing with? And the guy's like, what?
Yeah. If it happened while you're on a plane, you're right. That's, like, how that could possibly go down.
Well, yeah, or like somebody calls and like, I just heard, dude. Well, I've been talking to coach and he said he can get you on the AAA team and maybe you can move up. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm getting fired? Like,
that's some manly shit too, man. Being able to fire someone to their face. Have you seen that movie Moneyball? It's that baseball movie with Brad Pitt.
No, I've seen parts of it. It looks really good. That's kind of what we're talking about. Like,
yes,
that's a Mark Cuban type of thing.
Yeah, but actually, the part that's interesting that I was just thinking about wasn't so much the numbers in the contract. It was they show what it looks like, or you know, the movie depiction of a player getting told he's like off the team, like getting cut. Yeah, like, and like his, you know, he's got to move his family or he's getting traded. They show like, hey man, we're just shipping you off to New York or whatever. They're in LA. Like, I don't know. You never see that. There's never footage of that, even though we have footage of everything else on YouTube. It's
No.
kind of a fascinating thing.
I,
Be like, hey, sorry, you don't live here anymore.
like it's
you're-
funny that serious and like very, very like real and like concrete moment in life hasn't been YouTubed, but you could like YouTube 50 million people getting kicked in the nuts by their buddy just for the sake of getting videotaped.
Yeah. Which is also fascinating, but
Yeah. One of my friends, they posted on Instagram was a picture of a guy outside of a casino, and he had a sign that said like "Kick me in the nuts for $20," and his caption was, "This is Chris Drake. This dude's awesome. He's like, where his business plan falls apart is he hasn't realized I can kick anybody I want in the nuts for free."
But realistically, I bet that guy has a bunch of fucking money. That's a brilliant place to do it outside
but-
a casino.
I guess, like we've always talked about, there's a price for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody will do something weird for the right amount of money. That guy's got a very low price, like $20 for getting field goal kicked in the balls.
Yeah, I don't think I would let like a drunk, big ass stranger kick me in the balls for $20, and then it happens again 5 minutes later.
Yeah, would that be worth $40? If you got,
I mean, my price for like, I'm imagining like a fat 6'4" guy who went to University of Alabama. He just got lucky playing the slots, and
Yeah,
he walks up and wants to kick me in the nuts.
he gives you a $100 bill and says, "I get 5 kicks."
No, see, I think I'm $500 for one kick.
Oh wow.
I think that's my nut kick price, because I assume that it's the worst guy.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean,
I guess the worst guy would be like a martial arts.
so for all the, the chess champion. So for all the viewers out there, if you have $500, you can kick Steven in the nuts on one of our episodes.
Absolutely.
My
Yeah.
price is $750, but I've got a whole different type of nuts than he does.
Look, my price actually might go down if I can pre-screen you. I need to see how tall you are,
And you
how
need-
often you work out your legs, and if you've taken a kickboxing class.
And then you need a short 10-second video of them kicking a heavy punching bag in the bottom.
Yeah.
You see how
Or an
much that
animal.
shit jumps up? And you're like, oh man, that bag moved a good 1.5 feet. That guy's allowed nowhere near my balls. Fuck his
Yeah.
money.
Or if it's a weak kick, maybe I give it up for 200. You never know.
What if the fat redneck guy comes up to you and is like, hey man, I'll only kick you half as hard as I really can, and I'll give you $250.
I'd probably do it. I'd
But
believe it.
how do you know?
Because, no, seriously, I don't know why we're getting into the physics of this, but I think if somebody's holding anything back, it's okay. What you don't want is the guy putting his heart and soul into a nut kick, giving you that NFL, like, kicking a field goal.
Laces out
Blast.
Dan, sort of.
As long as I know they're not giving it their best, he's probably, like, thinking he's going to get a little bit of empathy, like,
Yeah.
at the last minute.
Would you let him have any running start whatsoever? Like any steps?
In my head, I was seeing, like, a 2 to 3 step.
No, if I did it, it would be from a standstill. My
Yeah, that's a
friend.
lot smarter.
Okay, now look at the diagram.
Okay.
Okay, this is like. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like a running start. You're gonna it's gonna hit you weird. Your
Yeah.
nuts are gonna get slapped back up into your butthole, and you'll never see him again.
Speaking
Till
of
James Cameron makes a movie about when they discovered him.
I was just talking to somebody, and they told me that because I have blonde hair and blue eyes, that if I donate sperm, they'll give me more money than other people because people want this kind of sperm. So maybe I should value my balls more.
Yeah. Hey.
But I don't know if that's true.
Well, if it is true, you might be able to get more money jerking off into a cup than you would getting kicked in the balls.
You're right. That'd be way better.
I have green hazel eyes and dark features, and if my sperm wasn't worth that much, maybe I'd, when I get homeless, I'll just have college kids kicking me in the nuts for $50 or whatever. Well, my sperm's only worth 40, so fuck my balls.
I feel like there's no way it's that simple. Like, I bet they don't even know whose sperm
Was
they
it a
want.
girl who told you that?
It was a dude.
He wants your sperm.
Yeah, you're right. He basically told me he'd pay top dollar for my sperm. Which is how I'd like to be hit on from now on by women.
Yeah, I want to be hit on that way too.
Hey boy, I'd give you $75 for a shot of that good stuff.
And my response to that would be, well, I guess I'm about to make $75.
Beautiful. That's a great note to wrap up on, I think, on this evening episode of Landmines. Our first, certainly not the last.
No.
We're gonna get Crystal back on the show.
Yeah, and I've been drinking Carolina Summer Hummer. It's South Carolina's official BJ Beach vodka.
I've been drinking. No, I don't want to pimp mine. It's not special. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. We'll probably have a guest next time. We love you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We had a really fun time.
Peace, bitches.
Peace.